Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, one of the most important and overlooked areas of empowerment in general, while everyone is seeking tools, and of course this is what everybody thinks is the answer to everything. It's kind of like buying a car. The fact that why walk to the store? And you certainly don't want to get fit, eat right, and everything else so you're able to walk a long distance or get some. Well, you buy a machine to cut through all that crap. Well, this makes logical sense to a certain degree. But life is very complicated, and tools are very important. Man, or the species which has been on this earth for millions of years, certainly didn't come from monkeys, is the fact that we are a species that make tools, we make machines. So to kind of sum up a human reality, or the strange earth creature that is here mixing with the natural environment. So it's very important to have these, but tools are secondary. What you have to first do is have the smarts, the ability to make tools. Then you have to use those tools to make machines. So this is a step, and we have to understand this in metaphysical reality. Now, with my continued of giving out free readings, energy readings, they're not psychic readings of what's going to happen to you and where's your long left live, all this kind of stuff. No, these are energy. Where are you energetically at? What are the energies around you that are hindering your success in life? What are they looking like? Maybe you're not having problems, but are your energies at a good level? Are they at the average? Are they a little higher? Most people are at the average, and you rarely see anybody above that. And that means you're teeter-tottering on falling down, not falling up. So some people are smarter, they have more strength in one area or another, so they're able to get by with low readings and so forth. But one of the problems with using any kind of higher machines, so if you want to use radionics, you want to use energy cells, etc., you've got to have a good energy flow through your body, which is energetic in nature. Now, everything in life is energetic. They're informational energetic fields that control everything in life. And as they get to certain levels, what happens is they become more and more physical. And what's interesting is that common scientists, like Einstein, he agreed with this as well, which is quite interesting. A lot of people don't understand the writings of most even common physicists, which cop out because they have to admit to the fact that there's things we can't see and that they're a field in nature, meaning they're basically non-physical, and but they can't get over that. I can't think of that. Too hot for my brain. So the whole idea, and of course Nikola Tesla understand that it was the non-physical, and of course it's really not non-physical. Information energetic fields are detectable, measurable, and so forth. So all this is a reality that you've been told isn't. And they've implanted people in all the alternative fields to scuttle them, to break it down, to cause arguments, etc. This is a reality even to the highest level, or not the highest level, but you may be going to an organization that you think is involved in what you're doing, and they're implant liars working for criminals, which is all of the radionic industry and those organizations that claim to be involved in it. On the opposite, they're not. So I've proven this. Everywhere I go, I find out that they're nothing more than criminals, controlled by the international criminals in general. So this is a fact. But the whole idea is that studying the information energetic fields is nothing new, and of course, any real physicist will admit to the fact that that's where everything comes from. So what does that mean? So when we're looking at things, the critical aspects in your life and the people who are successful and healthy and everything else all have energetic fields around them that are functioning properly. So if someone is really successful, and we don't know what they're doing otherwise, certainly people like the bozo Steve Jobs was very much into Hindu mysticism. and was really, like most apparently Westerners or that are involved in either Buddhism, Hinduism, they are the scum of the earth. Never met a Western Buddhist that wasn't the lowest slime on the planet. And that reflects on the teachings that apparently these people are attracted to something that's giving them excuses to be rotten, and they're not being condemned by Buddhism. That grasshopper, you little scumbucket, get hell out of temple. So that doesn't happen. So the whole idea is that these are the type of things that we look at, and there are problems with, and so forth. But they're for the common energy fields that people understand. It's much more complicated than the things that you're aware of. But we'll start with those because they're a good beginning ground. This is your third eye and your chakras. Now, there are many, many more chakras other than the typical of 7 that most people know of. But let's start with that. I'm not sure we have to complicate things. You know, you don't need to be a master. You just need to be an expert on the basic field. So trying to be a master is something that takes a lifelong study, and it takes a level of consciousness that few people want to bother to reach. Okay, breaking from society, not being part of it, being in conflict with all the scumbuckets. You know, this is not something that very many people are going to want to do, plain and simple. But you don't really need to do that. Leave it to the experts. Get their help and advice for higher level. But basically, what you want to do is understand. So this is the energy fields that flow through your body. So you have your chakras, and this is basically the electrical wire that goes through your body, and that it connects to different areas to empower you. The third eye is a center, basically your third eye is in the center of your brain. This is considered to be one of the things that when opened, and it's not really the third eye, but again, I don't want to, I can speak like a master here, but it's going to lose most everyone. But the bottom line, it's an awful lot of things in that area. But let's keep it simplistic as the ancients have always done. So your third eye is an important center. Now, these are the energies you use to make radionics work, to make all the tools that I offer work. If these things are closed, or not working to a high level, the results you get from using basically energetic tools is going to be minimum. So they generally all work for people, but people don't want things that work. People want things that give them movie land-like results. And of course, we all look for that. But if your chakras are working poorly, if your third eye is, well, all of your life is going to be a mess. So it's as simple as that. So these people who are really successful are able to create this. I mean, the biggest dummies in this world are the richest people out there. I mean, these people have the IQs of a handball. The whole idea is they have no background. Now, their IQs, based on stupid little tests made by fellow stupid little idiots, say they're smart. Well, the point is, I've never found people highly educated to be very smart at all. As a matter of fact, they have trouble using basic things. They don't know how to have their car doesn't work right. They don't know what's wrong with it. They can't set regular things in their houses like security systems. Yet they have doctorate degrees in underwater basket weaving, and we think they're gods. So the whole idea is that we have to fully understand this reality. So what is happening within your structure? That's why nothing is one thing. If you get a machine, sure, that's a big step up, and that's going to force you to use energies and force open chakras and third eyes by using it. And of course, this works to a certain degree. It's very, very important. And we're coming out with a whole bunch of new products in this area. Simple products that'll work for you, low cost, that you'll be able to actually be able to get your chakras flowing and your third eye open at acceptable levels by using simple technologies. And you have to work on this all your life. It's like being uncrossed. And cross conditions, guess what? When you have lots of blockages in your life, from life problems usually, bad parents, bad situations, etc., these energies build up on you. And of course, there's still 20 to 30% of the population that have some sort of direct curse on them, meaning somebody has targeted you and continues to target you to send you bad energy. This can be official by just hiring somebody, and there's lots of hired guns out there, people, and all you got to do is look on the internet. Plenty of people will curse you for low money. So this is happening all the time and 100% accepted in society now. So these things do happen, but it's still relatively minor. What mostly everybody has is they grow up in a very toxic, bad world. And most of this toxic, bad world is not just chemical-based bad diets, but is the family that you raise, the garbage that has been taught to you by ignoramus, egotistical, maniac teachers that know nothing. You know, they're just the lowest level of scum out there, and you're just wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. What did the teacher tell me today? Ooh, it's a miracle water is wet. You know, I never thought about that, teach. Oh, man, I'm going to write that down in my book here. Water is wet. So the whole idea is you run into that, and particularly bad teachers is anybody that's a high school teacher. These are losers with big egos that want to dominate people. Adolf Hitler's of the teaching system. Yeah, the high school teachers. Yeah. Usually gym teachers, and they're all gym teachers come. And then they think they know something because they're able to dominate you and have life and death control over you to some extent in their little classrooms of crap. So this kind of poor information pushes you out into a completely different world and then messes you up. Most likely your parents are dumbasses. They don't know nothing. If they have some sort of teachings, well, most likely it's dated and worthless. This is all part of what goes on. So this is what's called a cross condition. Now, cross conditions start closing your chakras. They start closing your third eye. Now, most people at this day and age with all the readings I'm doing here, and this is a great way to kind of check the public as well. After this, quote, pandemic, and it really doesn't matter whether it's real or not real, who the hell really knows? A lot of people did die, and like most of these kind of pandemics, there is which is not new, by the way, there is a group of young people that tend to die from it, as well as the very old. But generally, if we can believe anything we're told, most of the deaths in the COVID situation were people that die anyway, people that are in their 80s, that have very weak immune systems. So this is the people who die. And that's what happened here. But there is always a weird after death, which is happening right now. Lots of people are dying, which we don't really understand. The other thing is there was a lot of young people that died. Interesting. So, but without getting into the statistical data there, so you could wake up further, the bottom line is that these cross conditions block your life. Then they block your chakras, they block your third eye, which is very important to reaching higher levels of consciousness, meaning, I understand what's going on, Dr. Thor, that's why I'm doing other stuff. Well, if you don't come to that conclusion, you're just a slave to the stupidity of the science that has done nothing. And remember, science has done nothing. There's no cure for dandruff. That's right. There's no cure for acne. There's no cures for runny noses. And let's not get into the really complicated things like blood sugar. We can't control blood sugar. Yeah. And, of course, all the thing that goes with that. So the bottom line is science has provided us with nothing. And any kind of new drugs that come out seem to have horrific side effects to a large enough of the population that you have to be very, very careful and skeptical or even shun anything news coming out. And of course, we can't believe anybody anyway, because whatever we're told by all this stuff, and we've got to remember that all those drugs that poisoned and murdered people were all qualified by they went through testing, which is another farce, through the FDA, and it's okay. So, then how come 10,000 people died this year from the drug? It's okay. So this is all the things that we run into in the bigger picture. So once your life becomes, now what is cross? Cross just simply means you are blocked in life. It means you're driving down a road after a big storm and there's a whole bunch of trees that are now in front of the road. Now, you can't keep driving on that road. You're going to have to clear the road of all the trees so that you can start driving again. So that's basically what being crossed is. Now, how many trees do you have in your road? Where did it come from? Were you traumatized? Were you beaten? Has society hurt you? Did you have stupid, rotten parents who didn't do anything in life or were bendovers to the system? Well, that pretty much is everybody, isn't it? So the whole idea is that this is going to affect you in terms of your manifesting abilities. And what does all this add up to? Well, cross conditions, chakras, a third eye is all based in what? Now, this is basic functioning on every single level, but what is life all about, which I've been telling people for years? It's about manifesting. And don't confuse this with manifesting just hard, cold cash. Life is much more than that. And there's a lot of rich people who are very sick. There's a lot of rich people who don't have decent relationships. So they have not figured out the entire understanding of life. But you want to manifest intelligence. You want to manifest consciousness. You want to manifest high states of being. You want to manifest wisdom. If you manifest wisdom, everything else comes to you. Of course, there's manifesting in success in life. So, which generally, and that could be many things. Maybe you want to manifest being a great guitarist or a great polo player or singing the crappy operas. Yes, I'm very good at that. I manifested singing crap songs. So the whole idea is that maybe you want to do that. It doesn't necessarily have to turn into big buckaroos. Just that you're good at it and you're happy that you really can play that guitar. So the whole idea is that's manifesting. It doesn't necessarily have to turn into money, but certainly would be nice depending on what you want to do. But remember, when you turn your hobby into your business, it kind of ruins your hobby. And this is one of the other secrets nobody talks about. So, yeah, it's nice to do your hobby all the time. Is it? Your hobby then doesn't become special. It becomes business. It's downgraded. But that's another issue. But the bottom line is that you want everything in life boils down to manifesting. What do you want to manifest? I want a good relationship. I want to manifest high states of understanding. I want to manifest money. I want to manifest being good at doing that. So, don't look at it as a dollars and cents thing. So, when you have blockages at stop sign, that's why uncrossing is something that very few people seem to be understanding how to take care of properly. And we have lacked the tools to do this to the level that we like. We do have our energy cells that work very well. Why people don't bother to invest in this, why everybody isn't getting these, I quite don't understand. If you don't have the Trinity system of uncrossing, protection, and chakra third eye opening energy cells, you're missing the point. People want to buy expensive machines and drop money very easily on these things, and they don't really see any value in having the ability to use those machines correctly. Scooby snacks. So the whole idea is this is baffling to me, and I'm obviously not getting the message across enough. There's also kits to use to uncross yourself and so forth. These are very powerful formula kits, bath salt sprays, other things. Bring the energy in your environment, kick the bad stuff out. This seems to elude people as well. So I'm going to be coming out with many different chakra, third eye, protection, other tools in our new disc system, which is very powerful. And these will be fairly inexpensive, so they'll be very affordable. I think some people think that having lifetime tools that take care of all the important things in your life, they don't want to spend the money for that. Baffling. It's just plain baffling, Dr. Thor. I don't quite understand it. So the whole idea is that these are the things that control your manifesting and control your life. They control how you... Now, what I check with people in my free readings is what is their manifesting abilities in life? Generally, what level are they at? And this is a scale on 1 to 10. Where are you in your manifesting abilities in general? And then, of course, where is your manifesting abilities with health? Because this is very important. If you're sick, you're going to achieve nothing. You're too tired. You can't think right. So health, which includes diet and everything else, that I spend a lot of time talking about, particularly on Patreon and All Access, and everybody should be members of this. If you're not supporting this only place you're going to get truth on the planet, you're screwing yourself. Simple as that. And very important information is shifting radically over to Patreon, as we've been doing this year, and to all access. And all this stuff is pretty reasonable, but everybody votes with their pocketbook. And if you're not members of this, you're voting for the opposition, which is all the bad people who will poison and kill you and destroy your life. Support these people at your own peril. But it's very typical. I just told someone of Jewish ancestry, which I am a great supporter of the Jewish people, that he was involved with a bunch of rotten Nazis, and he decided to join the Nazis and attack me. Ooh. Unfortunately, this is one of the problems with most people and their innate evilness, and one of the major failures of Judaism in general. But that's another story. So the whole idea is that all of this that comes together is critical. So what are your manifesting abilities? So as I said, it's a scale of 1 to 10. Most people are 4s and 5s. This is average. Very few people are up there. Bill Gates is, 8, 9s, 7, 8, 9s. But you rarely find people in 7, 8, 9 levels of manifesting. And then, of course, you rarely find people that have really a high level of health energy. Now, you may not be sick right now, but what we're talking about is where is your battery at before it gets really weak and you have trouble getting up them hills because your batteries in your electric car are low and you may have to push it. Oh, what did you do? Turn the radio on? No, don't ever turn the radio on an electric car. It's going to drain and you'll get 2 miles. So the whole idea is we have to understand all these things that we put together and the reality of it. So most people do not have high. Their manifesting levels, interestingly enough, are very similar to their health levels. Health level may be 1 notch up. While the average person is 4 and 5, their health levels are generally 5 and 6, which isn't too good. So the whole idea is that it means that both of your energies are at the low level, and if some little wave comes up, a big swell in the pool of life, you're going to get knocked over. Very, very dangerous. So what do you do to stop this? So, cross conditions create blockages in your chakras and your third eye. So you have to remove this. You need to keep yourself uncrossed. And remember, these energy cells are lifetime tools. So the cost to you of these things, which aren't high to begin with, is very minimal when you're using them throughout your life. Now, one of the problem with tools, of course, like this is that once you own them for a while, they're just like owning an old shirt. Yeah, it's comfortable to put on, but, you're looking for new stuff, and the old stuff you want to get rid of. Well, this is a mistake, but we'll get into that in other discussion. So to keep this relatively short, if your chakras... If you're crossed and they're going to close your chakras. I found one person who had a third eye, first one I found in years, that was completely closed. His chakras were, I believe, closed 85%. His third eye completely closed. Now, this kind of a situation is dooming you. It's just a matter of time before all of your life has problems. Now, it just depends on how quick all this acts. You got to remember, like most things in life, it grows in you like a tiny cancer, which starts off as nothing and could take years or close to a lifetime to grow to the point where it kills you. This is something that is extremely misunderstood. So the point is that if you're not taking care of these critical areas, then I want to jump into buying the technology, getting the machines, doing the other things. And we have set up everything now to be a system unto itself. So almost every tool that we sell is a system unto itself. You can broadcast with it, you can clear with it, you can charge with it. These are some amazing breakthroughs that I've now put into just about every product we have. So you're not just getting a product that you use, you can also use it in other ways, and that product is kept at its highest possible empowerment level through our amazing new energetic disc system. So this is all part of it, and there's many things you can add into your life. Everything from, of course, everybody should have a 8 hertz watch. Everybody should be wearing these kind of bands. This charges your body up. Now, what is charging your body up, man? It means you're opening your chakras and your third eye. That's really what it comes down to. The energy is flowing, because if these aren't flowing, your health goes, your manifesting, everything else goes. So when you actually work on a person energetically, which is what this is all about. I'm moving everything. Well, mostly it was in the energetic to begin with, but now everything is moving over to the energetic. There's nothing in the physical that has much value. So, and it doesn't affect changes within the human consciousness and system as long as you are working with the physical. This has been proven through the use of supplements recently, which basically none of these powdered supplements work worth a damn in general. Some, of course, the more chemical things, the more actual mineral type things can work in powers to a degree. But really, you can't beat taking them up to one more step higher, meaning using liquids. The difference between using a liquid, a tincture of something, and the physical product is about a 90%, let's go, a 98% difference of its effectiveness. These powders work very, very little. Powdered anything works very poorly. Anything that you're taking that way works poorly. Your system just cannot take it in, and basically, all it's doing is it's not hurting you. Of course, it's hurting you. It has to go through your liver and your kidneys and everything else. And I don't care whether it's processing stuff that is semi-non-toxic. It's working harder to get rid of stuff you put in there. Is that smart? That's stupid. So the whole idea is that we have to keep that in critical understanding here. So the whole idea is that everything flows through that system. So when you take or do anything, what you're doing basically is adding that energy into your chakras that is turning it into energetic information to go do a particular task within your energetic body, which ultimately controls everything else. So if you take a vitamin C to help your entire body, it isn't that vitamin C that's doing it. As a matter of fact, vitamin C may even be toxic, particularly in the chemical form that we get from Chinaland. So the whole idea is that it doesn't work well. It may cause kidney stones and all sorts of other things. Well, you're taking lots of vitamin C, thinking it's good for you. Well, probably not. And if you're not taking something that is liquid, it's probably bad for you. So a lot of this is shocking to people. You don't get it. But the vitamin C goes into you. It goes then. The physicalness is broken down. Your chakras grab it. It moves it to the organs that it needs it and takes that energy and distributes it out your energetic body, which really makes the change. It then goes to your third eye, etc. So I hope everybody understands that. So the whole idea is keeping these things open. We have cells now to do all this stuff. We do have kits to help this process as well, in terms of formula kits, taking baths. All this stuff is very important. That goes back to ancient practices that are still around today because they work. Sprays you put in your environment, incenses you burn, all this stuff is very, very effective, particularly for energetic situations. And you're not really going to get better, get over things or anything else unless you take care of the energetic, the core of it, the spiritualness of it. All types of, quote, treatments, whomever you get it from, even your doctor, work a lot better when you are uncrossed, and may not work at all until you are uncrossed. Ignoring the spiritual, do it at great risk to yourself. This is overlooked, but those people who think there's such great wisdom in Tibet and other places, Tibetan medicine is 50% using some sort of substance, herbs, whatever. It's 50% spiritual. What are the spirits that are causing your illness? Now, people want to overlook that. And if you go to a Tibetan doctor in the United States or outside of Tibet, he may not even talk about that because he understands that you're a bozo, that you don't understand that. You're a pill boy. And, of course, the fact they won't even get into that. But certainly this aspect of life is overlooked. Overlooked by many people, including all the popular systems and older popular systems that were involved in it. If you're not taking care of the, quote, spiritual, it's unlikely you're going to get very well. And this is overlooked even in most alternative systems and other ones out there that just have giant vacuous holes in them that don't deal with this aspect. It can be dealt with very easily as part of a complete program, but using these kind of kits is something else. So we have the kits and we have the MechTech, the manifesting energy cells that can manifest anything. Again, don't get caught up in Muni. The bottom line is that you need these things, and we will be coming out with, of course, our new tech will be covering this area. And we're going to be coming out with energy boxes for your chakras, for your third eye, for your health, for everything out there. We're going to be coming out with simple systems that you use for a lifetime that can be constantly updated very easily at very low cost. And that's important as well. Because even though I am connected to the highest sources of everything, new information comes to me all the time. Because I'm not going to understand something if it just pull out of the ether, so to speak. And, well, this is what you should be doing. I don't understand it. So I have to take walks up that stairs of consciousness like everybody else. So we start off with stuff that everybody can understand. Then we move up to another level. So the fact is, if you're not involved with an organization that isn't constantly changing, it means you're in the wrong organization. Old tech that's been around, minor little changes, using the same system for 30 years. This shows that you are not tuned in. So things always change, and that's why it's important to have technology that changes with you without you having to chuck it and buy a whole new. Well, I've never done that. Everything that I produce and engineer from the ground up is all something that is modular. I connect this to it, improve it here. So you don't have to rebuy the entire system, or you're adding something into your original system and you keep your old stuff as well. So this is fantastic. But if you're not using these things, you are not going to do well. So the whole idea is that we do have these kits you can use with bath salts, incenses, etc. for uncrossing, for the chakras and third eye, and we do have one for protection. These are very powerful. They release large amounts of energy in these processes. Like everything, and one of the other things about it seems to be misunderstood is that uncrossing chakras, third eye, protection, etc. You don't do this stuff once. If you have a ritual done, that's going to help you for several months. After that, it's going to start slowly building up again. This is something you have to do all your life, and that's why our MechTech cells are lifetime tools, as is most of our tools. Now, our formula kits obviously use up these formulas, and you should be repeating this about every 90 days to 120 days. So it just really depends on where you're at, but it's not something you do once. Is there anything in life that you do once? Well, you take a bath once, you eat one meal in a lifetime. Everything in life you have to repeat, and the more critical it is, like not stinking, you're going to have to do it probably daily. So the whole idea is that this is how life works. And of course, keeping yourself uncrossed, your third eye open and chakra open are daily jobs that you do with your energy cells. So hopefully this has made everything clear. We're going to have a lot more on this. We're coming out with things, but if you're not taking care of your energetic life, if you're not making sure you get that 8 hertz in your environment and keep it there and hopefully directly on you. Tesla watches are fantastic, and you can use these with machines and everything else. Now, I understand people know this is not a watch, people. It's a frequency instrument put in a watch, so it has some use. Probably be better if it didn't have a watch on it, because I got my cell phone. Ooh, it's so amazing. Those are. And if you don't have them in your house, we'll be offering these soon. If you don't have a portable, this is a portable little battery-operated 8 hertz generator. Fantastic. We're going to put this in one of these box systems and sell these by themselves. And, of course, the master of all, which is running 24/7 in this room. And I have one in my bedroom and one in my living room. You're missing the boat. That's what it's all about. It's not about trying to get a tool and forcing manifestation. Of course, that's part of the process, but it's about keeping your environment open to manifesting anything you want and keeping out the negativity, staying uncrossed, and keeping the energetic body flows, the bioenergy that you have, going well. If you're not doing it, you are losing. That's part of the process. So, and of course, like everything in life, new stuff comes up and everything else. But you make this part of your life, and this is a tiny investment for a huge lifetime of payoff. Staying well, manifesting your basic desires, keeping negativity away from you is the key to life. And that once you're at a semi-even level, as best as you can do in your life, you then use tools to manifest more or higher states. I hate to use the term more because everybody's so greedy. But the bottom line is that you start manifesting what is important to you in life and what you need to grow as a higher spiritual person. And there's nothing spiritual about living in a cardboard box on the street. And there's nothing spiritual about living in a mansion with 60 cars and a giant pool while other people are sleeping in a cardboard box in front of your mansion. There's nothing great about any of that. There's nothing wisdom-based in poverty. It makes you hard and bitter. And wealth makes you evil and sociopathic. And I've met a lot of both, and they're all very screwed up. Rich people are some of the most scum you'll ever meet. So the whole idea is this is the reality. You want to be in that environment? Is that who you want your friends to be? Not me. So the whole idea is that that's how you have to progress in life. All the tools are there for you. Understand, staying uncrossed, keeping your third eye open, your chakras open, and keeping yourself protected are the Trinity forces that make up everything you need in life. Until next time.